The world is filled with fluffy, ethereal podcasts about spiritual growth, transformation, and inspiration. Yeah, this isn't one of them. No, Find Your Flow is about what happens when life stops working. So let's get into it. No filters, no scripts, no curated sound bites, no fluff whatsoever, just flow. This is so exciting. I am so privileged to have you in the studio with me this morning, Theresa Byrne.
Burn, sunburn, burn it up, burn it down. Yes.
I'm so excited. I love your bio, which listener, it's all in the show notes, the many facets of Theresa. This is just going to be a fantastic conversation. Thank you for being here with me. And to kick it off, I just want to ask you, what does flow mean to you? Find your flow. What does that mean?
Flow is alignment, girl. It is all about mind, body, spirit aligning so that our energy, our inner power can move us forward into the realms and the places we're meant to be. That's all. Alignment.
Oh my God, I love that. And listen, I want to dig into your story because I have this fascination with the concept of flow through my body, because I now know what that feels like, flow through my life for when my body aligns with my soul, my mind, my space. And I know that you hit a low point where I am going to assume you lost your flow. I mean, when we're I call it a frying pan to the face, when we're hitting the face with a frying pan. And
girl, stop saying that. The universe is listening.
I know. I apologize. Right. But when we're sidelined, I'm clearing. How do we clear all of that? I'm ringing the bells. I'm doing all the things.
No frying.
But when we're sidelined, that's right. Clear it. I'll sage all of this when I'm done. But it's that when we're sidelined, when we're forced into surrender, when we're put on pause, which I recognize as a gift. I really do.
Totally.
It's this, you're removed from your life in order to learn, redefine, and reset, recalibrate,
reboot.
Reboot entirely, and for me, I say, listen, in the moment, it sucks ass. Ooh, Theresa, do you mind my cursing? I should have led with that.
You do you, boo. You use the words that come to you.
But it does suck ass to be sidelined and to have everything put on hold. But I also recognize, at least for me, it was an absolute gift where I discovered I was not in flow, how to get in flow, and then this deep dive into all these different modalities and possibilities, different practitioners, different experts to help me get there. So, Theresa, this is why you're here, lady friend. Would you please share with us, when did you lose your flow? How did you get?
Well, first, let me say the reason that I was all like, cancel, because I would run into a brick wall. It wasn't metaphoric. It wasn't, I got to run into a brick wall. I need the universe to hit me by a 2x4. No.
So, hey, time out. Listener, if you're experiencing things, I once had this beautiful practitioner who said to me, Lisa, how many times does the universe literally have to hit you over the head in order for you to learn? No. Right? So, listener, if you're experiencing things like injuries, literally hitting your head on things, running into things, it's your moment to pause. So recognize it for what it is. It's literally somebody tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, could you pay attention?
Oh, why don't we say that? I guess I just need the universe to gently, bonk me in the hip and, do the bump to bump or, tap me on the shoulder. Like, why aren't we saying that?
I need something a little louder than a whisper. Can you just say, hey?
I'm all for that. So I was running to a brick wall. And to be fair, I love what you said about the gift because I was exhausted. I was running a martial arts studio, a female founder of a martial arts studio, and was running all these offsite programs at gifted kids schools and other schools. I was 5 other programs. I was tired.
I bet.
It was hard for my nervous system to calm itself. And we'll talk about nervous systems. I love that part of it. So when I was run into the brick wall, it was not just a chance to calm, but freaking reset. And I always say I'm Theresa 3.0 now because I needed, and there's some really fun things that came out of that. And I do actually mean that. Like I have emotional amnesia. Any negative experience I've had in my life, I don't remember feeling it. I was like, wow, I had filed bankruptcy in 2003. That must have been really hard. And then I'm thinking, how come I don't remember how hard it was?
Yeah.
I don't feel it. Like I was like sloughed off. One thing they don't tell you about a brain injury specifically is that you don't heal and regrow exactly, because once those cells, once it sloughs off. So brain injured tissue is necrotic and it sloughs off. So that's why neuroplasticity, which by the way, my brain injury was 2014 and that was just kind of new. It was kind of talking about all of the new stuff. And I had to start, girl, just like you were talking about with your spinal surgery, I had to start relearning. And I was like, you know what, though? The first time my brain was developed, it was as a result of my environment, nature and environment, right? I was reactionary to what was going on. This time, I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to redevelop it in the way that I want. I'm going to keep it positive. I'm going to focus on the good things. I am going to laugh my butt off at the mistakes and the crazy things I'm doing. And I never lost that sense of humor. And it just kept me healing, even when, I don't know if you watched the TED Talk, doctors said I was rocking about 30% of my intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved that. When I had my spinal injury, it completely pinched my brainstem, my vagus nerve, the carotid artery. So it was, I just kept passing out over and over and over again, and was told this is going to be your life.
No!
So
I'm so sorry. Why do the white coat people, any doctors out there listening, I honor your mission and your work and your job, but we listen too hard. And if the doctor says this is your life, okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
This is your life, right? This is your life. Make accommodations, get in-home care, wheelchairs, like the whole 9 yards, right? I couldn't even shower. Here, do you want to talk about funny? So without knowing, but turning my head to the right always aggravated everything and made me pass out. So lifting my right arm, that also caused me to pass out and get totally, black spots, the whole 9 yards. So I had a very hairy right armpit and a cleanly shaven left one because I could go like this, but I could not go like that. So how can you not laugh at something like that?
Oh my God. I got in the shower after my accident and I was like, what are all these products? You don't realize how many steps we have. And I would mess them up. I would condition and then shampoo, or half condition and not shampoo. One leg shave. I don't even know how it functioned. It's like looking at all these things going, I don't remember. Even making coffee in the morning, I was like, wow, that's a lot of steps.
It's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps. I love that you said that you were super intentional with creating new connections in your brain, because it's a thing. Everybody, listener, talking to you, it's a thing. You can create new neural pathways throughout your entire body. You can use this awesome piece of technology that we have here in our cranium and create new pathways through your body. Not only is it possible to relearn things, it's possible to learn how to do them differently. You can learn to move differently and think differently. Please, yes, this is why you're here.
Oh my God. So, okay. So I was a professional athlete and martial artist. And all of a sudden I shuffled when I walked and my balance was off. Most of the time as an athlete, we think it's my feet, it's my back, it's my body.
Yes.
It's not, it's neurological.
Yes.
It is our inability to use the same amount of proprioception, there's a fun word for you, to figure out where your body is in space. I had to relearn, much like after your knee surgery, I had to relearn how to walk like heel toe.
Yeah.
I got walking poles and I couldn't figure out how to use them. I was like, oh my God, why? There are so many.
You're like, is it right with right, left with left, left with right? How do I do this?
And one of the smartest things I did was crawl. Because what does a baby do when they start? I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I get so excited. What does a baby do when they start learning how to put their muscles together with their brain? They crawl.
Yes.
So I started crawling.
And after a brain injury, you need to use as many neural receptors as possible to learn.
Yeah.
So crawling, literally crawling, rolling on the floor, using your somatic nervous system to reset and relearn, it's critical. It's absolutely critical. I love that because I did the same thing. I rolled on the floor probably for the better part of a year because I too
rolling on the floor.
I'm just rolling on the floor. I'm trying to learn what my environment is like.
Totally.
But when I first blacked out and it was my very first experience. I was in a restaurant.
Oh God.
And when I came to, I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, I couldn't walk, but I could feel. I don't have a shit ton of memories from that year. We call it the forgotten year.
Brain.
It's fabulous. Right. Like I have that amnesia as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I distinctly remember my hand on the wall and telling myself, this is bumpy. That's a seam. This is wallpaper. This is the feeling of wallpaper. It feels like it's blue. I think I felt a flower. Like there were certain things that I was like, whoa, holy shit, I'm learning differently. And that was immediate. That was as I'm being dragged out of the restaurant. That's what it was like for me. Talk to me some more.
What
You
you
said,
want to know?
What
You want to know?
I know. What do I want to know?
Well, and funny story, I would get in the shower, which didn't happen all that often because it's kind of like old people, like your brain, you're like, I don't know. When was the last time I showered? I don't know. I don't care.
I don't know. Anybody. What day is it?
I was betting pretty much 2 years in timeout, what I call timeout.
Timeout, yes.
That's what it was. They're like, no screens, no input, no lights, no music, no. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try that. But I got in the shower and I like a warm shower, hot shower. I'm like, God, what is wrong with my pipe? Like they're not hot enough. Yes. I get out of the shower. I'm freaking scalded because I could not feel my skin. My brainstem was part of what was damaged. I ended up with about 6 concussions because I had 3 impacts. And so there wasn't one lobe that was affected. It was brainstem. It was autonomic system. It was everything. And I'm like, I'm scalding myself.
Ricochet.
Whoopies.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
All right, so take us through your healing journey, because how did you, I mean, that is like a knock you out of your current state of flow, right? Into a total timeout. I love that you called it that. How did you find your way back?
So there were 3 things. Do you like The Princess Bride?
I love it. Oh my God, I was just quoting it last night. Shut up.
I'm up. What up? You up. So I was like,
as you wish.
I was like mostly dead all day, right? And I'm like, what do I have among my assets? This is literally what went through my mind. What do I have?
I'm dead. I'm crying. I love everything about that.
And I was like, all right, I'm still funny because I was hilarious. I cracked my own self up. I was still funny. I could still put words together. They didn't always make sense. And I might, I couldn't remember the word for, now I'm like gloves. So I called them hand socks. But I know I forced myself not to just go thingy all the time. Give me that thingy. So I still had my humor. I still had the ability to speak, and I had faith beyond measure. Even when the doctors are patting you on the shoulder going, don't give up. I was like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to science the crap out of this. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to make this. I'm going to help other people with this some way, shape, or form. Fun. And so those are among my assets. And so I fell back on each of those all the time. When I do something so incredibly dorky, I would laugh at myself. I wouldn't take it so seriously. Now, that is not to say I did not have a voice in my head. I now call it's the inner bully, which is where the TED Talk came out of. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I was able to allow myself to just be in that moment and go, wow, that was funny that you just did that. Even the scalding my skin. Look at you. Aren't you a hot mess? Literally, you're a hot mess, girl. So the healing journey, I fell back on those 3 things. So even when the doctors were like, we don't really know how to and what to do, I kept doing research. I kept looking for. I had taught children, autistic and all the spectrum of kids. And so I started applying every piece of neuroscience I had studied prior. And then I started learning new neuroscience. One of my favorite little pieces of advice, if anyone's going through a tough time, listeners, or if you know someone with a brain injury, your brain loves the sound of your own voice the most, which when you're in meetings, you know that. You hear people talking just to hear themselves talk. Record what you want in your own voice on your phone and play it. I'm healing. I am putting myself together in a new way, shape, and form. My life is filled with love and laughter. I am making a difference in the world. My impact is positive in every way, shape, or form. I recorded myself and then listened. And my brain believed it because I was saying it.
I love everything about that. Can that please be like everyone's homework? Listener, seriously, because I say the majority of people that I get to meet hate the sound of their own voice.
But our brains love it.
But our brains love it. And And I think that we hate our voices because we're not used to hearing them. We're
in the
not
out loud
used
manner.
Exactly, right? So what we're used to is that inner dialogue. That's not really your voice. That's just your fear. I love that you call it your bully, your inner bully. That's not your voice. Your voice is kind. Your voice is loving. Your voice is beautiful. Let's hear it. I love that.
Well, and we don't really, here's a fun story. We don't really hear ourselves or see ourselves correctly because our brains are taking our image upside down, flipping it, right? And you can use that to help your healing too. And you're looking at yourself in like a 2D where everyone else experiences you in 3D. And your voice, you're hearing it through the timbre of your own ears, but when it's coming out in the world, it's slightly different. And there's so many variances on how we appear to ourselves. And I always say this, we were not created to see our own light. A light bulb does not sit in itself and go, I am shiny, shiny, shiny. No, a light bulb reflects. A light bulb shows its light. And that's what we get to see, the glory of what's reflected back to us. Okay. Did something happen?
I mean, that's just, I'm telling you, I'm fighting back tears because I think what you're saying is so impactful and clearly it's something that I need to hear. So thank you.
I'm going to repeat it. Your light,
please.
We're not built to sit in our own light. We are created to see the light reflected back to us by the people who love us and care for us.
Come on. Is there any better exchange of love and generosity? Right?
Absolutely. It's light. And our brains seek light. And I even now I work with people who are like, why can't I feel like people say I'm awesome, but I don't feel it. I'm like, we're not built to feel it like that. Always. We don't always know our light.
But we're built to receive it.
It's we're built to seek it.
Right.
That's why we
And I think we're conditioned to reject it.
Yeah. Ooh, say more.
Right. I mean, think about when somebody pays you a compliment and there are so many people who are like, oh, no, but you are blah, 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 right? You're so beautiful, Lisa. Thanks. But really, it's just you, right? You know what I mean? Like we're very quick to throw in the but, which negates everything that was just said prior to.
Throw in the but.
Okay. Anybody that can go right into a little bit of rap is fine by my book.
Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's keep doing this podcast over and over and over. I see a multi-series podcast coming. Anyway.
I got so many lyrics now running through my brain. I mean, I got mud flaps. My girl's on it. I've got so many lyrics.
I love my brain that is that quick. I love that. And to your point, it's like, hey, I like your top. Oh, what this? This is from.
Right.
But there is a perceptive belief that if we take in compliments, it means something about us. It's self-promotional or it's braggadocious or.
Braggadocious.
Yeah, hey, take all the words. My brain loves to come up with randomly with tomfoolery. If I can stick tomfoolery into a sentence. Yeah.
Shenanigans. Can we just say shenanigans at the exact same time?
Yes. We shenanigated. I like that.
We really did. That's really awesome. Did. Oh, I love it. I love it. But that's the thing. I think that there's no greater expression of love than to compliment somebody, to tell them that their light is shining brightly. But I think that we have been conditioned to sort of very quickly deny and reflect it. So I'm going to give the listener a little bit more homework. Ooh, yay. I love homework, by the way. By, I love it. I'm going to challenge the listener to just say thank you.
Thank you.
Right? Just say thank you. Somebody compliments you. Just say thank you.
You look so pretty. You're welcome.
I think you're hysterical. Can this just be an entire podcast about compliments? Can we just have people on to compliment each other? I think that would be fan-fucking-tastic.
I love it. Because where else are you going to get that? I
swear to God, right? Swear to God. All right, lady, keep going. Keep going with your story about how you were able to talk to us more about this neuroplasticity. I too am I nerd out with all of this. I love it so much. I can't get enough of it. It's such a juicy topic to me. So talk to me about your study of the brain, your study of neuroplasticity, and how did that change? How did you dive in even more? Oh my God, listener. Well, I thought she was getting resources. She got a tissue.
I have resources.
I thought we were going to have books and.
I do have resources. I'm a queen. I am a resource girl. Hold please.
Oh, I love it. She has been sent off on a mission. Here we
So
go.
I wrote about the journey in a book. So my system is called In Power. And it's finding that inherent inside inner power and also what drives us out of power. So in every single moment, yours is flow. You're either in or out, right? Or you're just neutral, which is fine too. So in power means you are aligned, activated, you're moving forward, you're in your jam, even if you're not like constantly moving. It's like, it's that feeling of flow. For me, I'm going to share the first breakdown I had in my so I went to the doctor, and I didn't go to the doctors right away. I'm like, what are they going to do? Cast my brain? But I made a
So
promise.
what happened? Was it a car accident?
It was a car accident.
Tell us through it.
It was a
Okay.
car accident. So some guy hit me, bent a wheel. I don't have technical terms. Bent a wheel. I hit my head. I hit a retaining wall, and then hit a brick wall because I lost control of the vehicle. Now, as luck would have it, I don't remember hitting the wall. I had a near-death experience and was pulled up out of my body. So I don't even remember hitting the wall, which is great. I'm happy about that. And I'm happy to share more about that.
Were you able to watch it, or were you just removed completely?
Gone. What's funny is like a near-death experience, I always expect, I have so many expectations. I was like, there was like, you know, a path or a light, but it was like here. There was no time in between one space and the next. And I thought that was really interesting. I was just
that's really cool. I've had 2 near-death experiences. Neither were like that, where I was just there. Neither were like that. But please continue.
Okay, now we'll be talking offline about that.
We can circle around to that later.
So I did not go to the hospital right away, and no one. It was a hit and run, and so nobody went after the guy. 7-8 cars pulled over because it looked like they were going to have to fight for life me out of the car, which just shows you the caring of humanity, right? Yeah. They wanted to help me. And I honor that. So I went to urgent care. I went to the doctor and a chiropractor because that's what that's my thing. And they gave me some signs to look out for, but I wasn't broken. I wasn't bleeding. I wasn't broken. Girl, I'm a master instructor in martial arts. Like, unless it's broken or bleeding, I'm like, and I do not believe in pain. Like, I am not a no pain, no gain. I am like a pain. Pain means stop. Pain means pay attention, right? It doesn't mean push through it. So I wasn't pushing through anything. And then within a few weeks, I started apparently like fading off in the middle of conversations. I was so hot. One of my eyes would go sideways. You know what I'm talking about? I would stutter.
Hey, you.
I was rocking it. I couldn't keep my balance. I was crying in my car in between classes. I wasn't eating. So there were a lot of different things happening. But if you know anybody with dementia, this was dementic. I did not know there was something wrong with me. People with dementia are like,
sorry, did you say dementic or dementic?
Dementic.
Okay.
I was dementia adjacent.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it is shitty, but I just needed to know what exactly it was you said.
Yeah. And dementia sucks. But I had a conscious understanding of like, I would know something was in front of me. I would know it, but I couldn't see it. And that is a lot of what dementia is like. You are deluding yourself, but I was like standing on both sides. And I have a good brain. I had a great brain. It's a Mensa brain, but I was watching myself not being able to understand. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. So I finally went in to see the doctor and they're like, yeah, you have post-concussive syndrome. I'm like, oh my God, I had a concussion. Okay, that explains a lot. And doc said, you need to stop. I'm like, stop what? Well, everything. And I had the biggest breakdown. And here's where the breakthrough part happens, because that's where the breakthroughs are, right? You got to knock it all down. She said I had to shut everything down. And I'm like, I can't. I've got 15 employees. I have a 6,000 square foot studio. And you had a gyrotonic studio. So 6,000 square feet of like fitness and martial arts.
It's huge. It's enormous.
Big. And I'm running 5 offsite programs. And who's going to do all this stuff? She's like, it doesn't matter. You're not helping your brain. You're hurting it. I'm like, oh, I did not want that. So I had this huge breakdown of like, how do I even matter if I cannot help? You're going to make me cry. If I can't do things the way that I've always thought they needed to be done, if I can't coach, if I can't be there for other people, if I can't make sure everything is taken care of, what value do I have? And this soft voice in my head said, just because you are, it's just because you are that you are valuable. And I've spent my entire life doing and proving and making and coaching and being there for everyone else as much as I could. And I was exhausted. And in that moment, I was, my first big epiphany.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
If I can't do things the way that I've always done things, what am I worth? What is my value? That redefining, it takes so much courage and like strength of soul to come through that. And that's what people refer to as that dark night of the soul, that kind of thing, listener. Just so you're aware, when you hear these words, that's what people are referencing. For other people, it could be a very dark moment. I begged to die. That was my lowest moment. And when you can get through that, when you start to recognize, oh, wait a second, my value is simply being.
That seems insane.
That's it.
Seems insane, but it's true.
It's like mind-boggling. Why is that so difficult to understand? Why do people have such a tough time understanding that?
We're programmed. We're programmed to, I was a high achiever and I still love to achieve, but I don't do it like I used to. I probably had people pleaser in me. I don't anymore because boundaries. Had to set big boundaries. And I think that's the other thing I want your listeners to understand. I'm talking about a brain injury. That's my breakdown. That's mine. But it could be a divorce. It could be a bankruptcy. It could be losing a job. Any loss can be felt in some of the ways that I'm sharing. How I went through mine, it could be anything. You going through everything that you've gone through.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm, prior to my spinal injury, there's plenty of life that was lived. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And plenty of lessons that were learned, plenty of ups, plenty of downs. But again, I was a little stubborn and busy in the doing, busy in the making shit happen of my life, that I lost track of the simplest gift, which is just being.
I like to think of it like flow doesn't return through force.
Oh,
it's from presence, permission, and your purpose.
So my mom, she was a martial arts student for years.
Yay!
Yeah, for years. So we learned a lot through the culture of martial arts, right? And the power that comes through subtlety is not lost on me. It's not lost on me. And it's what I implore everyone that I ever speak to, everyone that I ever meet, is there is power in the subtlety. And now I pause long enough to recognize it. Whereas before I was so busy in the doing and the making shit happen-ness of my life that I didn't listen to the subtleties, right? There were plenty of times where I had warning signs, plenty of times that I had warning signs that something was not quite right. Whatever was going on up here, something was not quite right. And, and I think about it and I'm like, yeah, that car accident back in college, that probably contributed to this. Diving into a pool and having it only be the kiddie pool.
God.
That probably had something to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was really proud that I knew how to dive. And I was like 4 years old. So there's that. But there is power in the subtlety of all of this. So what you being, there's so many directions we could go, but you being this martial artist, this absolute expert, how do you take all of that and create what it is that you're doing and sharing with people now?
Such a good question. So think about it in terms of martial arts is a framework. It's an operating system. And that's why there's subtleties to it. And that's why there's ebbs and there's flows. And that's why being able to move with energy. The minute we resist something, we are creating a block. We're creating a challenge. We are creating whatever you want, an obstacle. And I'm so funny. I like to do that in myself. I'm a big fan of most people are automatic yeses. I'm an automatic no. Like somebody's like, do you want to do this? No. Well, then let me think about it. But I have really strong boundaries, especially after healing, because I had to shut everything down and my healing became my biggest priority. And I couldn't work for 5 years, really. So learning how to do that, the martial arts is sprinkled throughout everything. And it's ancient. The warriors who began martial arts were not out there to beat people up. They were not using it offensively. They were learning how to be able to get into meditative positions in a better manner. So I consider it a spirituality. It's being a spiritual warrior. The martial artists would train. The monks would train and do these cool moves because that allowed them to sit in these meditative spaces for longer. So the idea of sprinkling the martial arts lesson, like Mushin, sorry, I can't pronounce it. Mushin is this idea of a calm center. And that is our nervous system. When my nervous system is calm, whether it's my vagus nerve and I've created a space, I cannot find my flow when I'm in fight. I cannot find my flow when I am in freeze or when I am fleeing. And there's now the fawn and the flock and all of that, but that's not an automated response. Our bodies have 3 automated responses. And being able to know that centered groundedness from which I am me can then allow me to do whatever I came here to the world. But when I'm off, when I'm out of alignment, when I'm not calm, I'm not working from the best part of my brain. One of the other pieces that I've learned is positive intelligence. And this came about in 2020, learning how to access the part of our brain that is collaborative, collaborative, creative, innovative, interested, curious. All of those pieces feels different in our body. When we go down the path of nervous and anxious, worried, angry for longer than a minute, when we go into any of that negativity, it starts to create a neural components, starts to create a biochemistry. And when we are in a different part of our brain, usually the prefrontal cortex or parts of our brain that make us happy, we feel differently. We sense differently. So really, martial arts is very similar to brains. It's like, where am I? And am I in my power, in my words, you're in or out of your power, or you're in or out of your flow? And what is pulling that? What is creating that? And how can I get back? Even just to neutral. And neutral is underestimated. I see so many of my clients will be like, I'm unhappy and I want to be super positive and joyful. I'm like, yes, that's not how emotions work. We need to get to neutral first.
Yes.
And this beautiful neutral space, this beautiful calm space. And then we can make choices, but we can't go from I'm miserable, I'm unhappy, I'm fighting everything, I'm resistant to I'm joyful, I'm super, super happy. Everything is wonderful. Like,
It's a party. Life's a
I'm so happy right now. You should see my social media. Girl, you got some stuff.
that though, that the center point is the harmony of it all.
Mhm.
It's where it all comes together and creates this beautiful song to which we can listen, right?
Yeah.
And then make decisions from this nice, peaceful space.
Yes. And I also think I wrote an article called An Open Apology to Anyone with Depression. So after my accident, I was diagnosed with PTSD, panic disorder, anxiety, depression, neuroendocrine disorder. What else did I have? ADD. Yeah, there's that. I had all these different things going on. And being able to go to happy, it was like, I'm sure I've been there before. It's like, you've been to a person's house before, but you're like, I don't know how I got there. And so instead of going for happy, I went for peace, because I couldn't get to happy. So what caused peace for me? Fuzzy things. I now have an addiction and an ownership of fuzzy blankets. I did some study on autistics and I got myself a weighted blanket, which is now in the pub, like it's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't, in 2014. I started getting what could create peace for me. I needed peace. And then I could find my way to happy in moments, right? I'd have glimpses of it. But the first 3, here's the other thing about brain injuries. The first 3 neurotransmitters that are gone: melatonin, high sleep, dopamine, high reward center, and serotonin. Those 3 are sheared in a brain injury. And so that's why you see a lot of people with concussions or brain stuff that have anger issues, that are upset, that cry, that are depressed, because those neurotransmitters are sheared. So I started taking supplements. I started looking for everything I could to heal those neurotransmitters. And part of it was calming, nervous system calming, peace calming.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. When I started to get my functions back, well, the first things first for me was, everybody telling me, you have nothing and everything all at the same time, right?
Ooh.
And we can't really diagnose you, so we're just going to start throwing things at you, whatever. Once I got through all of that, it was my sister who said, I have this colleague who has a cousin who sort of had symptoms kind of like yours. And she saw this chiropractor who put her on heavy dose of vitamin C, a decongestant, and regular adjustments. And I said, okay. She said, how about you try that? And I said, that beats the ENT who wanted to drill the hole in my skull.
No.
I mean, right? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I I remember calling and making the appointment and going to see that chiropractor, and it changed everything for me. Everything. I mean, she took one look at me and she was like, "This is your atlas. And you are completely,
OA.
yep,
I do OA
yep."
meds.
And I said, yes, 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 yes.
So smart.
Right. And it was probably within, it was within about 10 minutes that my eyesight came back after that
Holy
adjustment.
crap.
Yeah. And she told me, and that was after over 9 months, 9 months of not really being able to see much more than a pinhole in front of me.
Dear God.
Not being able to hear because everything echoed and it was too loud and it was causing pain. So this, that, and the other thing. So she said, go get sunglasses. Do you have sunglasses in the car? She's not going to be able to handle this much sunlight. But those types of things, going to see the chiropractor regularly. And then if you listen to my story, like you'll get the details, but I was led to an Atlas orthogonist who was just a town away from me. And he used a sound wave to adjust my bone because what it came down to was the shock that was still within the muscles that kept wanting to readjust and keep me safe. So this is what our bodies do, listeners, is that our bodies are brilliant at what they do. They want to keep us safe, even if that safe is in a place of dysfunction.
Isn't
So
that
what
adorable?
you have to, it's fabulous. It's like a toddler. It really is. It's like a toddler who means well, but
Mommy, I
brought you
made
like
you this. Oh,
exactly. And it's like poop on a spoon. Like, you know what I mean? And you're like, thank you so much. I love it. And we're just going to get rid of that. So you have to find these new ways of being able to soothe your nerves, soothe the tissue, hydrate your fascia to get those nerve impulses to travel without constriction through your body. And that's how you wind up healing.
Yeah, 100%.
So those supplements, they're absolutely key. For me, it was chiropractic adjustments and going to go see the specialist who use literally a sound wave to coax my muscles into a new state, a new homeostasis.
I love homeostasis. It's good balance.
Yes. Redefine that. And then it was change your diet, change your exercise, change what noise comes into your life, change what you're watching on TV, change what you're watching on social media. So take me through. Right. So you went into the world of nutrition, obviously, right, with the supplements and trying to support your body into a healing state. What else? Give it to me, sister. What else did you try?
Girl, over 40 different healing modalities. 4D. I did not stop. I even got ear acupuncture, which some people
yes, gobble.
It did not work for me.
You don't know. So that's the other thing. Listeners, are you listening? Are you hearing this? 40 different modalities. I'm probably right up there with you. I'm definitely in the double digits. You have to figure out what works for you.
And it's the same thing I teach when it's movement or food. You got to figure out what works for you. There's not one guru out there who's going to tell you everything you need to do exactly for yourself. So
that's right.
Supplements. I got a PEMF mat. I got a Beamer, which really, really helped because I stopped shuffling. I was able to pick up my feet again. I was walking like I went from like moving like 33 to 83 overnight. And it wasn't my body.
Foot drop is real.
It was my brain shuffling. So that helped quite a bit. And then I was guided to find a laser. Now red light laser is a big thing, but I found a company 13 minutes from my house that was the only patented neurogenesis. That's brain regrowth. Neuroplasticity is rewiring. That's a thing, which is awesome. Neurogenesis is regrowing brain tissue.
Oh my God.
And these doctors.
Brain tissue, regrowing brain tissue?
Yeah, the nerves in the brain tissue.
Come on now.
And it works for Alzheimer's, is working for dementia. It doesn't reverse the process, but it stops it in its tracks. It helps to increase. So I was able to find, and they had most of the time when people had brain injuries, when they were doing the brain laser, people would get, I think 20 sessions. And it was all out of pocket, girl. It was all out of pocket.
That's the thing that sucks. Yes.
20 sessions. I ended up with over 150 sessions. Wow. But the truth is, it really started to help regrow my brain tissue. And knowing I was regrowing, I was then like, I'm putting everything positive in Same.
Mm-hmm.
No negative. Like I started watching Hallmark movies when I could start watching movies
Oh,
again. I know, right? And I had Christmas lights
like it's
hung
always
up.
so predictive. It's love. They get married.
I
Everybody's
just
happy.
needed happy. I needed prediction. I needed positive. I didn't need any big surprises because my whole head was a surprise. And the idea that it could be and I had Christmas lights. I could not I had
Yes.
glasses and a hat and big muffled ears for a long time because sounds were they were like lights were too loud.
Yep.
And
I hear you.
everything
Yep.
hurt. It like hurt in my body. And so being able to come back from that from a somatosensory place was learning, okay, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And then also having people around me that I could say, I'm having a bad brain day. I need to go home. I know we're
Yes.
out and I know we're doing something, but I can't do this because migraines were real too. I would have 2 to 3 migraines a week and I would have PTSD and I'd wake up in the middle of the night thinking someone was coming to kill me. So I started creating my own EMDR because what are you going to do at 3 a.m.?
I know.
Even your brain
I am
is
safe.
freaking
I am
out.
safe. I am safe. I am
Right?
safe.
And I would just start, and I knew tapping and all this, but I was like, I don't know tapping. It's 3 a.m. So I would just like, we're okay, and tap my opposite arm and opposite shoulder. Well, now there's something called havening that came out
Yes.
about 10 years ago. And it's very, very similar. It's not that I needed this input. I needed the tapping input on the opposite sides of my arms, but I had to do whatever worked. So I started creating. I'm the one that told myself I knew that the brain loved my own voice. So I started recording my voice, telling me how I was healing, all of these little things. I tried brain therapy with horses. It's supposed to be magical. Dude, I could hear the horses in my head going, I'm so bored right now. I'm like, okay, I do not want to be hearing the horses anymore. They're not excited to be here. That didn't work for me. And I tried everything and I just kept trying.
So did you wake up like some clairsenses, do you think, throughout all of this?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, can we talk about that? Because if you
Sure.
can, so when you do equine therapy, that's what the horse therapy is called. But when you do equine therapy, for you to be able to connect with the horse and be able to hear what they're thinking, did that translate over to other humans?
Well, I've always been intuitive and I trained as an intuit I don't know, many years ago. But what I started seeing was people's past, present, and futures, like a vignette.
Yes.
Like I could see past, present, future. And then I would also see things that they would call them hallucinations, but I don't know. It was like dimensional, right? Like I could skip dimensions, it felt like. And every time I went to the doctor, they're like, do you hear voices? I'm like, yes, but I'm used to it. And I had to explain it every single time.
I just wrote no. I just said no because I knew what they were getting at. And I was like, I don't hear voices like how you need for me to hear voices in order to diagnose me as like multiple personality.
Oh yeah. No, I outed myself and then had to have the conversation. I'm a trained intuitive, so I've often heard voices. But the one that I am hearing that's negative, the bully, or it was even worse than that. That is not my normal voice. And no, I'm not. I don't have suicidal ideation. And no, I'm not being told to go hurt anyone else. But interesting fun fact, 33% of people who have a brain injury or TBI end up attempting or completing suicide. And I know it's because of a voice in their head that wasn't there before. When that voice showed up in my head, it was so not me. It was like, you should off yourself. I'm like, what am I, a 30s gangster? I'm not offing myself. Who are you? And get out of my head.
Thank God it was Al Capone who showed up and not.
You gotta off yourself. What? I'm not doing that. But I did have a voice telling me I should off myself, and I was a failure and I was broken. And I started realizing, man, people listen to that. Like it's their own voice. And then also the inner bully, like we treat it like that is us. It's not. It's not us. And I don't even know where we started with that. Thank you, ADHD.
That is quite all right. I'll get us back on track, even though, listen, I'm menopausal 53. I have no idea where we went off the rails.
Girl, you hot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, there's that compliment. Thank you.
You took it so well.
So now when you work with clients, tell me, who are your clients? Who do you connect with? Who can you help?
I work with high achievers, people pleasers, and people who are ready. Like it's more of a psychographic than a demographic. I'm gonna throw that out.
I love that.
Because it's people who've said, this isn't working. The way I do things isn't working. There's got to be a different way. I don't know if I know it. And they're open and they're ready to shift and change. Now, I work neurologically. I work on body stuff. I work on alignment of body. I work on our mindset, how we can use our brains, and even an operating system. How do you operate best? Because you're doing the thing that's, you're people pleasing and you're bending over backwards and you're ending up with a backache. What's that about? Like, let's start retraining our brain. For the most part, my clients do tend to be people who are go-getters, but they want to get things differently. And you cannot use old keys to open new doors.
So true. So would you say it's people who have, do they feel like they've, I was going to say a pun. I was going to say it. And I think I should, because I think it'd be funny. Is it the person who has hit a wall in their life and doesn't feel like but they literally sort of hit their own glass ceiling in their lives, and and whether that's personal or professional, they just don't know maybe how to achieve more, or have they hit a sort of plateau and they're like, this isn't exactly what I thought it would be. How do I get in alignment with who I am, why I'm here, where I want to be, what I'm dreaming, all of that?
It is exactly that. We've come up against ourselves. We've come up against doing things the way that we have known how to do them. And we don't like the feeling space that we're in. We don't like that we've had to work so hard. COVID was really great at showing us the hustle and grind mentality was really, and I've been preaching that forever. Hustle is a dance from the 70s and grind is what I do to my coffee beans. It is not a way to live a life.
Grind is also a dance. Just saying.
The grind is a dance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dirty Dancing. Think Dirty Dancing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Thank you for that. And I think the idea is that they've come up against, I'll take that, a wall in their lives. And it may be an externally created one. It might be an internally created one. And they're ready to look at how to move. And here's the fun part. You ready for this, Lisa? I think that blocks are magical. And I think that triggers are treasures because they show us where our growth is.
Yes. Yes.
And you're coming up against an obstacle. Awesome. Your system, the universe, the divine, whatever you believe in, loves you so much. It's showing you where you are here to grow next. And that's usually when I get called in. That's usually when people bring me in. It's not, I have so many certifications and different ways that I help clients that it's not one thing. I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. I might be playing with the subconscious stuff or the beliefs or the structure with them if that's necessary, but they're ready. The people I work with are ready for something because it's just calling to them. Their soul is calling to them. Their growth is calling to them. Bruce Lee and entropy, which is a law of thermodynamics, same thing. We're either growing or we're dying.
Yes.
And so growth is that next step.
I mean, come on now. So listeners, how are you feeling? How are you doing? What are you experiencing? Are you in flow? Are you frustrated? Could you use a little bit of help breaking through to your next rendition? I love that. I love that thought of, I know I'm here for more. I know I have this calling to be bigger, better, bolder, brighter. Just don't know how to get there. And I need a little bit of a boost. And guess what? She's here, everybody. She's here for that. I mean, hello, Theresa Byrne. Thank you so much for being here. Is there anything, we're going to close out this beautiful episode that we've been privileged to spend time together. Is there anything that you would like to close with? Anything special that you would like to say directly to the listeners?
No one can take your power away. We give it away. And learning how to be in your power, means figuring out all the ways that you have given it away so that you can take it back because you need it.
Thank you so much.
You're so
Thank you for your beautiful words, your wisdom, your honesty, your vulnerability. Your laughter. Thank you so much for making me laugh. This is fantastic. This could have been very heavy, very dramatic. I mean, you hit a wall,
I had a
for
brain
God's
injury
sake.
and it was really hard. No.
We need to laugh. We really do. Laughter is medicine, and
Lighthearted.
I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so this is our little bit of behind the scenes because Theresa, you just asked me if I could, how's my body doing? Is there any insight that I could use? And my answer to that is yes. Thank you very much. I still struggle with tightness along the occipital. And Yeah, right there at the base of the skull. And it's not a straight up and down, it's the diagonal up into the center seam. Yep. Traps. Rhomboids are okay, but it's the traps up into that wrapping at the base of the skull.
Oh my God. Oh
So
my God.
there's
Oh my God.
that. And before we completely lose track, because of that tightness, that overlapping tightness, my eyes shake.
Saccades. I can't say that right. Okay. Can I get super excited?
Please.
I'm going to geek you out, girl. So I'm going to start with a little bit of story. So I worked at Gifted Kids. I taught gifted kids and at DU, Denver University, and all of their calves were incredibly tight. And at the time, they were doing this surgery where they do they would cut the Achilles.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, let's do some OT instead, because my background is also sports kinesiology. So I'm like, let's work on lengthening those muscles. But their brains were in hyper alert. Think about when you're standing on your toes, you're like ready to go. Here's what I'm noticing with women, especially in the last, I don't know, probably 10 years, is they're getting neck tightness that they've never, to like a high degree. It is brain. You're treating it like it's your neck. You're treating it like it's your occiput, which is the on your skull. It's not, it's your brain. It is a brain. I know, right? It's your brain sending a signal that we have to be on guard. We have to hold everything. This is a nervous system response. It's a neurochemical response from your brain that you have to be on. It is not a negative thing. It is not your brain saying I'm necessarily in danger. It's like, I have to be highly alert.
So here's the thing that I'm going to validate what you just said, because more often than not, I can feel myself rolling forward as if I'm going to take a step or take a dive, or like I constantly want to roll forward.
Yep.
Shut up. Tell me more.
Okay. So now there are some simple things that you can do. I teach people how to do like shoulder rolls.
Yes.
Sighing will help your nervous system. Doing box breathing can also help relax this. Box breathing, you've done it? Have you done it? Breathe in for 4.
I was just going to say, teach me that.
Breathe in for 4. Count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 sets. That send anytime. Okay. So our nervous systems, after you exhale, that's the most important part, because your body's going to automatically inhale.
Yes.
Controlling that exhale. What happens when we're stressed is we tend to shallow breathe. When we shallow breathe, our shoulders start coming up. Then we start moving forward. I know, right? So controlling your breathing, box breathing is an easy way to do it. So starting with that. And then also the neurophysical adaptive movements, shoulder rolls forward. Every time I do a keynote speech, I make all the women stand up and do these shoulder rolls. So that can send the message that you're safe. Think of it this way. If you were being chased by a bear, there's certain things you would not do. You wouldn't calm your breathing, right? You wouldn't look at your environment. You wouldn't check into what you hear, what you feel, what you see. That's what we need to learn how to do. And you talked about being present, and that will help your neck more than you realize. And also just noticing where your neck tightness is. I'm going to give you one more. Are your feet on the ground?
Yeah.
So put your front foot, put your favorite foot. Could be right, could be left, doesn't matter. So let's do this. So rotate your neck to one side. Okay, not bad. Now, I want you to take your favorite foot, put it in front of you slightly, angle it a little bit, and I want you just to rotate it like you're going to fall. I'm standing, so it's easy for me. About 5 times. Okay?
So ankle rotation, outward rotation?
Kind of. So your foot is slightly in and almost like you're going to
fall.
Got it. Just a little, like 5 times. Don't be an overachiever. Good. You're resetting your brain. Now rotate.
That's easier.
If you were standing, we'd have even more of a change. Oh, girl, I got magic.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
OMG.
So do I do it just on the one side, or do I go and go do it on the left side too?
Oh, look at my achiever people. You can do either one. You can do both.
Okay.
See, play with the laboratory of your life. So I do neuroadaptive movement, neuro
Because
movement.
it's definitely tighter going to the left. My injury was on the right, so it's definitely tighter going to the
and
left.
maybe try and from a proprioceptive standpoint, I like to do either one to see if it, which differences it make. And it's just almost like you're gonna, girl, and that's you sitting. Most of the time,
sitting.
People do it standing, and it's almost like, think about your nervous system when you go to fall. And you're like, oh, I'm in danger. You're sending a nervous system like, I'm in danger, but I'm safe. Oh, that's scary, but I'm safe. And it gives your brain and your body a message, oh, I'm actually safe. And that's what this needs.
So this is like since that spinal injury that I had, I have used a lot. I mean, a shit ton of stuff. But I'm also well aware that I have a residual PTSD, like that's just running signals through my entire body, and I'm aware of that.
Okay.
I was at a show over the weekend, and I was invited to walk up the stage, right up the stairs to the stage. Well, no stage has a railing for stairs because actors just run up and down the stairs. And I was like, how am I going to get up these stairs? If I don't even need to use a railing, I don't hang on to a railing, but knowing that it's there. Right. It's literally the visual that presents itself as you are safe to use the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, and maybe it was 5 stairs, but the mental gymnastics that had to take place on how to not look like an idiot going up 5 stairs simply because there's no railing there that I don't need or use.
We all need training wheels. We all need safety devices, whatever those are for us.
So there I was going, you're going to power through this, Lisa. You're just going to do it. And so I did, because my default is to power through and just do shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When what I would like is to not even think about it, to be able to bound up the stairs like everybody else who was using those same stairs. I would like ease in everything that I do and experience. And I'm also aware that it's this tightness that wraps and holds like fiber, needs more hydration. And I'm well aware of that too. Like my head needs to feel safe on this body.
It does. And I would have, if I was coaching you, I would say, dance up the stairs. Do not do how everyone else does. Girl, you do you. I'll dance.
Yes.
I'll dance. You changed your brain. You changed the way you're moving.
Okay.
Dance up those
stairs. Because I sing and dance through like pretty much anything. Like I will do that going down the hallway where,
effortlessness.
Effortless.
You, and again, that's where the intuitive piece came from. I was like, I could see you dancing up the stairs. No one else does, right? You're going to be unique in that you're like, I'm dancing up the stairs. Do it your way.
Like, and the funny thing is, and everybody gets to listen to this in the after show. But the funny thing is, I used to watch, those old movies with like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and they're dancing up the stairs. Like that was always my favorite part.
Oh.
The up 2, down 3, up another, and down. Like that was always I thought that was so much fun.
And that's the difference. And you'd ask, like, how do I work with people? That's how. New keys. The old keys aren't going to work. The you version that wants you to walk up the stairs or run up the stairs like everyone else is doing it, that's not going to work for you. Do it you.
I love that.
Do it your way.
Oh my God. See, this is so perfect. I wanted to do an entire series with experts to be able to share their expertise, like just how you just did that, so that everybody who listens or watches gets to actually experience how you work, so that they're like, yes, I want some more of that. I want that for me. I want that personalized. So this is so perfect. Oh my God, thank you.
You're so welcome. Becky, did you see her butt?
Oh my God, Becky.
Oh my God, Becky.
Look at her butt.
I like big butts and a can of you
No other but the can deny.
Anyway, I have hundreds. I mean, I had to do a lot of research and create so many tools and tricks. There's so much up here that only when someone accesses a file, you say, my OA,
Yes.
occipital atlas, okay, here's some things we can do. And then my brain goes, oh yeah, and by the way, we could do this. We could teach her the neuroadaptive movement. I don't walk around going, I have all the things for,
Right. I love
access to
that.
the
When I had my studio, that's exactly how I enjoyed working with people.
Yeah, based on
You were
what they
coming
needed.
in for X, Y, or Z, but I mean, we just start throwing everything at it. Everything. It's so much fun.
I love that. You're
Oh
so
my
much fun to
God.
work with.
Shut up. I love it. Oh my God.
Man.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to, and thanks for sticking around for the after party, everybody. Okay, that's it, listener. Before you go, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and set your notifications to never miss an episode. If you'd like even more with me, come on over to nagarelife.com. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, go on and share it. Share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it as well. All right, I'll see you next time.